These are the top 10 things that not enough people are talking about when it comes to taking a GLP-1 medication. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss quest, and hopefully you'll subscribe and come along for the ride, because I put out a new video every day. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 things and a bonus thing at the end that not enough people are talking about in the GLP-1 community. Not enough doctors are talking about it. Not enough people are talking about it in support groups. And so I want to jump in here and prompt everyone to start talking about these things. Okay, rapid fire. I know you guys like the rapid fire lists, so let's do it. Okay, first thing, transfer addiction. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially a situation where you are attempting to replace a comfort item or process with another. You often hear about transfer addiction in the realm of eating and GLP-1s. As it pertains to, first you found comfort in food, now you're on a GLP-1, you don't find comfort in food anymore, and so now you've kind of transferred over to, for example, a shopping addiction. So, and there are many, many scenarios. I'm just using the shopping addiction as one of them, because this is one that I am currently fighting against with everything that I have. It is very easy to get into the excitement and have that kind of dopamine hit when it comes to, you order something, it's on sale, yeah, I got a good deal, high five, and then I'm waiting for it to show up, I'm checking the tracking, it's out, it's delivering today, I'm checking, is it delivered, checking, has it delivered, right? All of that is serious dopamine in your brain that you used to get, right, from potentially binge eating or eating calorie dense foods like fast food, right? It's one of those things where there's this transference, right? It's like we're not getting it from the food, now we're getting it from shopping. You have to be very careful about that. And I think there's not enough people talking about it. Okay, next up, regret. It is so rare to find somebody posting in one of the support groups that's talking about regret for getting on these medications, regret for not doing enough research and being aware of side effects and how that may affect your life. And in some cases, there are people who sincerely regret ever getting on these medications because of hair loss and or loose skin. And I think that it's something that we as a community need to talk more about, both so that people can be better prepared, but also because if you are someone who feels that way, your feelings are valid. And I feel like many times in the support groups, people, though they have good intentions, they often end up making these regretful individuals feel worse about regret. They say things like, oh, yeah, you lost 60 pounds and you weren't expecting loose skin, right? Which is A, not helpful, and B, you don't know how and where you're going to have loose skin until you have it. And guess what? You're not going to have it until you lose the weight, right? So it's kind of this catch-22 situation. And I feel like people should really be talking more about the regret that they're having. Body dysmorphia. I'm seeing a lot more people talk about this now, which is great. There are so many variables that go into this. You know, people who have like a detachment body dysmorphia, where they're completely detached from their body and they don't recognize it as their own. People often struggle with, you know, oh, I've lost XYZ number of pounds, but I don't see it in my body, which was one of the things that I struggled with. And then also kind of like the tricks that your mind plays when you do go shopping, right? And you're still pulling those larger sizes that don't fit you, right? Because you're like, well, I can't possibly fit into anything smaller. And then you find out that you do. That is very challenging to navigate. And I really feel like more people should be talking about it. Okay, mourning the way that you used to eat and navigating those feelings when food was your comfort. This is another one of those topics that has a lot of variables and it affects people in different ways. I know for me, one of the things that really helped me in mourning the comfort food was just finding something else to do. Finding something else to do in that moment and not necessarily pushing those feelings to the side because, you know, it's understandable and those are valid feelings, but just saying to myself, okay, here's what's happening. I used to have food as a comfort and I don't anymore. And it was really a crutch that I would lean on. And now I'm not leaning on it. And so I'm noticing it. So let's think through this. What can I do instead? I'm upset. What can I do instead? I'm angry. What can I do instead? I'm sad. What can I do instead? Right? And kind of redirecting yourself, though it's easier for me to say it now, but in the process, right, it takes work and it takes time. And I really feel like more people should be talking about it. Okay. Back to regret, people who have regret because of side effects and this overwhelming feeling that they had to get sick to get thin. And I've seen that phrase many, many times. And the fact of the matter is that you should not be sick, right, on these medications. And if you are, that's something you need to talk to your doctor about, whether it's related to side effects, whether it's related to your quality of life, or, you know, not having energy, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you're experiencing, talk to your doctor and reach out to your support system. It's not a, you know, get sick to get thin situation. I feel like there are many people, and this is just my personal opinion, that are forced to move up through the dosages too quickly, which can lead to this. In my opinion, that is the fault of them not doing enough research, their doctor not knowing about these medications and the best way to administer them, their insurance company for forcing people to go up in dose. You know, there are a lot of different factors, and some people find that they need a modified dose. And so I encourage those people, if you are struggling with regret, with side effects, with feeling like you're sick all the time, talk to your doctor about microdosing and talk to them about going down in dose, right? If you're higher up in a dose, because you should not feel sick, right, to get thin. Okay. This one is a burger biggie. I feel like it's talked about, but this specific aspect is not. So the topic is hair loss. And yes, there are lots of people talking about hair loss, but 9 times out of 10, they are talking about hair loss as a result of weight loss, right? Or a reduced protein intake, nutrient intake, right? In the case of individuals who've done like bariatric surgery. So people talk about the hair loss, but what they don't talk about are the people who haven't even lost any weight yet They're on these medications, these GLP-1s, and they're losing hair. That is what I think people should be talking more about, because it is listed as a side effect of the medication. I know that the majority of people will experience hair loss because of weight loss, and when the weight loss slows down or stops, or they experience a stall, right, for a few months, the hair loss will stop, right, and they can start to regrow. But there are individuals who are, sensitive to these medications, and they do lose hair without it being related to weight loss. So I think that's an important aspect that we should be talking more about, because so often I see those people being completely dismissed in support groups. Like, oh no, it's because you lost so much weight. And they're like, I've lost 10 pounds in 3 months. What are you talking about? So it does happen. Please keep that in the back of your mind. If you are in a support group and someone's like, hey, I don't understand why I'm losing hair. I've only lost 10 pounds in 3 months, right? Let's try as a community to not be quite so dismissive of those people. So I think we should talk about that more. Being cold all the time. Make sure you bring a jacket or a fleece. This is one of those things that I feel like not enough people are talking about. As you are on the medication and also as you lose weight, right? You don't have as much insulation. You are going to be cold. My feet are freezing right now making this video for no reason. I have the heat on. It is like 75 degrees in my house. My dogs are like, what is your problem? It's fall. It should not be this hot. But yeah, you're going to be cold. So for people who are either just starting out on this medication, or they, have been on it for quite some time and lost some weight, just take a jacket, take a fleece, wear the thick socks, even if you don't think you need them. So that's one. The other thing that not enough people are talking about is tailbone pain and hip pain. So specifically with the tailbone pain, this comes with, losing weight, obviously. You are not going to have as much padding as you used to have. And seats now become painful. And it becomes, important to have some of these, whether it's in your car, in your office, which is my case right now, right? So that you can try to mitigate that pain, especially if you're going to be going somewhere that has a hard seat. You're going to be like leaning forward so that you're not on your tailbone, because it just hurts so bad. I do that all the time now. I've never done that in my entire life. So yeah, tailbone pain. Hip pain. This one has to do with the padding, but I also speculate, and it is just my opinion, that it has to do with potentially muscle loss, and also with reduced inflammation. So when you are obese, overweight, morbidly obese for a long period of time, you have a lot of inflammation. And one thing that these medications do is they reduce that inflammation. So you may find that your muscles are having to compensate for these larger joints that they never had to do before, right? Because you're just kind of stiff, but you didn't realize it, right? And now you have a wider range of motion, so there may be some hip pain. I, for one, am somebody who experiences joint pain after doing an injection for, 1 to 2 days afterward. I know that's not something that is like hugely common, but it does happen. So if you are one of those people, make sure you like this video. Yay, joint pain. Okay. We are on number 9, loose skin, which causes rashes. It can hurt. It's uncomfortable. So I feel like people talk about, oh, you're going to lose weight, you're going to have loose skin, right? But they don't talk about everything that goes with that. I have lost over 100 pounds at this point, and there are times when I wake up in the middle of the night and my skin is kind of like pinched in uncomfortably underneath me. It doesn't matter what position I'm in, and I have to actually rearrange the skin, right? Pull it up, loosen it, let it, let it breathe. And that is uncomfortable. And I have never in my life had to deal with that before. So I think that there are not enough people talking about that. And if you need more information on loose skin, I do have a couple of videos on loose skin. I do also have videos where I show my full body. So if you're looking for that type of video, definitely go check it out. It's on my channel. Okay, so number 10, nobody's talking about the money that they've spent unless they're talking about how much they spent on the actual medication itself. I'm talking clothing, having to redo your work wardrobe, ladies, bras, underwear, right? You're constantly losing weight. I went out, I waited until my underwear was beyond saggy. And then in an attempt to save money, I was like, okay, I'm going to get a couple of bras. I'm going to get some underwear. Got them. Yeah. It is now 2 months later and those are already starting to get loose. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I just spent all this money on this stuff, right? And there's just not enough people talking about that. Now, of course, when it comes to like clothing, workwear, work attire, things like that, there are a lot of things you can do, right, to be smart about it. You could go thrift shopping, right? You can buy from like the buy, sell, trade groups. The Mounjaro buy, sell, trade clothing group on Facebook is a great one if you're looking for a good one. So those are definitely great options, but still, you're having to spend money. And it's not like a one-time spent money, right? The more weight you lose, the more often you're gonna have to replace those items. Okay, and now for number 11, the bonus. Navigating social situations around food. We are all about to have to deal with this yet again because we have a holiday that is centered around food. Aren't they all? If you think about it, they are. So, of course, we've got Thanksgiving that's going to be coming up, and we have Christmas, both of which are very, very food related. And I feel like we're not talking enough about how to navigate those situations. I'm seeing posts in the support group where people are going, what do I do? What do I eat? What do I bring? And it feels like people are kind of in two camps when it comes to how to help people in this situation. We have the, I'm not changing anything that I eat, I just eat less group. And then we have the other group that says, you need to be careful, make sure you bring something that's healthy and make sure you just eat turkey and, cranberry and you don't have stuffing and right, the more restrictive people. I think that there is a happy medium between those two, right? So I'm not way over here and I'm not way over here. And this will be my second Thanksgiving on a GLP1. And I think that if you continue to keep your mindset of prioritizing protein, right? Making sure that you're staying hydrated, all of those things, that it helps you to navigate those social situations. I am always a big fan of eat a snack before you go, make sure you have a snack in your bag, and bring a healthy option. So even if you were to show up and there was nothing there that you could eat, at least you could eat the item that you specifically brought. So I hope that that helps you. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. If you're looking for a positive only support group, I've got you covered. Link is in the description box below. Did you subscribe? Because man, I would really love it if you did. Subscribe, come along for the ride. Make sure you check out my other videos where I have other helpful tips and tricks that can help you on your health journey. And as always, be kind, rewind.